Count my blessings here. I'm at awe here. I'm actually dumbfounded. I find myself, it's like that song that David Bowie write. You might find yourself in a beautiful house. I find myself in a beautiful apartment, a beautiful studio, and I ask myself, I know how I got here. I give God glory for blessing me. There's no way I could have achieved what I've had without His help, considering the circumstances. And I chose to pursue my music career by making ends meet by playing on the streets of Washington, D.C., Maryland, Virginia for the last 30 years. So now I thank God I'm able to now start pursuing. Be nice to have another 30 years of pursuing recording uh, techniques and keyboards, electric piano, and synthesizer. I could spend another 30 years into studying that and then be set. See, I'm 60, I'll be 30, I'll be 90. I'll be the same age as my father if I 60, not 2, 6, 8, yeah, 9. That's 30 years. That's another 30 years. I'll be my father's age. That's almost, I played on the street for over 37 years. I was out there, started out there in 82, 92, 2002, and this is 21. That's less than 30 years. But here I am here now, and trying to figure out my schedule here. I was telling you about I was experimenting with patterns. I'm going to spend more time on my piano for a minute. I need to get some more piano jamming. I haven't even jammed. I've been practicing, and for a time I was learning songs out of fake books, trying to memorize songs. And then I got into a little bit of practicing, but I think if you haven't practiced for at least 6 months every day for maybe missing 1 2 days a week. Nah, you need, yeah, maybe if you practice 5 days a week for 6 months, and I'm talking about a whole day where you just at least at least 2 3 hours. That's when you don't practice. You practice 2 or 3 hours. That's when you don't practice. Being able to sit at your keyboard for 8 hours, 8 hours, then you can say you were at work. Most average job is 8 hours. If you can pull an 8 hour day, not an 8 hour day, an 8 hour session, 2 hours a piece, two, four, 6, 8. You can do that 4 times. Then you're getting into the groove of becoming a serious, dedicated, whatever you are into what you're doing. 2, 4, 6, 8. But I remember I used to do. So wake up. Let's start. I'll tell you what. Let's start this today. Today is late. I should already had ran over my exercises. I'm going to get my. Where's my? I got my juice over there behind me. Ah, got my drink here. My banana. And I'm going to go ahead and start. Usually, you know what I like to do? I like to sit at the piano and eat while I'm playing. That way, you start in habits. If you can sit at the piano and instead of just going and sitting at the table or sitting in your favorite chair eating your meal. But I like to really like lay back and eat though, so I can relax myself before I go into the music thing. But if I doubt myself, if I doubt that I'm going to really practice that day, I usually set it up where I'm going to be setting at the piano. I need to get into and a piano feel. You know what? I realize now that heavy action piano feel is for a good, it's like, you're jogging or whatever. It's heavy piano action. I found out that I shouldn't practice. I practiced on my motif one time for a couple of weeks and I could feel the muscles. I need to start. You got to do hand exercises to build your fingers and your arms and your stomach. Your back has to be strong when you're sitting at the piano. You should be setting up. Now I see why you set up, because it causes problems. I want to start getting into working on my ear. People don't understand there's a difference. Every musician, I don't care if you're sight read, if you're concert pianist, you play by ear unless you're deaf. Beethoven, when he started going deaf, I don't know if he went completely deaf or not, but he could write and perform by memory. That's like me playing with this volume down. Now I'm playing if I'm playing patterns, I'm playing what I know is going to come out. Now, just having fun, experimenting. But if you know a whole bunch of patterns, if you're familiar with if you play this chord and if you play this one, that's how that's going to sound. I learned the fifth from Lloyd Pinchback. He was a saxophone player. My brother-in-law, he's a albino guy. He played saxophone and flute. I was amazed at his piano arrangements when he bought a workstation and he played back some stuff he had sequenced. I said, man, wow, it was like heavy stuff, man. I was amazed. But he that hose that you spin around and makes a noise, woo, 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 woo. He says, he used his ear. He says that's a fifth. He knew that sound was. He knew that was a perfect fifth, and it was a fifth from fifth to here. It was a fourth going down is a fourth, coming up is a fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. He knew that sound. He knew that interval. When I played saxophone, I was practicing thirds, fourths, seconds. I practice those, and then I practice my thirds. And I actually had my headphones on while I was watching TV, and I practiced those intervals while I was watching TV for a couple of months, and then I became fluent on a saxophone, knowing where. Then I practiced my scales, knew all my scales, practiced my intervals on every scales, and I tried to get familiar with each key, know how how it felt, the sharps and flat felt. Then I would do chromatics. Then I had a habit of coming off a chromatic. I would like instead of like a it was like a slide thing I would do on the flute. I would do that on the flute. It became a habit. I need to. do that on the flute, and I transferred it over to the saxophone, and it became a habit. I saw a guy doing that outside. I met, and he had a little walking thing he would do like. I was in church. I used to practice that those funky runs, for like praise worship. Praise moments for the shouting music. I'm just saying I need to sit at the piano and practice a lot more than I've been doing practicing. Learning songs is a different thing from practicing. Practicing scales is a different thing from practicing. Exercises are just different thing from practicing. Practicing is when you just practice your technique, your particular style that you're going to be using while you're playing songs. It'll come out when you play a song, or just doodling. But let me go ahead. I want to go ahead and get my day started. I don't know what I'm going to do really. I think I'm going to just go here and lay down on the bed and relax, eat a slow breakfast. Maybe I promised myself I was going to take it slow the whole weekend. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to set up over here. Set my little setup here. Watch see what's on TV. May see what I'm going to watch, on TV, or may watch some videos. I used to do my research. Kick back right here. Take my mouse. This way, I move my mouse over here too. Not on my keyboard. I don't have a loose. All my keyboards are stationed on the side of the key or side of the piano. I'm going to do a little extension here. I plug my extension in so I can